I'm Luca Buratto. I'm from Italy. I'm 22 years old, and I'm very happy to be a Honens finalist.
Well, congratulations on
Thank
making the finals. It was a long wait while we waited
Yeah.
for the jury on Monday night.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I wonder what was going through your head during that time.
Oh, I don't know. I just played my recital before, and so I was so tired. I could fall asleep, but I mean, I was so excited because, I mean, when you wait for the results, it's something so pressure, and it's not on your own, so you can make anything. Just wait.
That's right, there's nothing you can do.
Yeah, that's
Right,
it.
right. And then when you heard your name, how
Wow.
did that feel?
Oh, when I heard from Italy, I was okay. It's me, yeah, because I'm the only one from Italy.
Good feeling.
Yeah, this was great.
It's a very stressful thing, though, going into a competition
Yeah, it is. But
in general.
yeah,
And you have lots of competitions around the world that you can choose from. I'm curious, what attracted you to this one, to the Honens competition?
Yeah, of course, competition can be the goal of your, like, practicing or your piano playing. I mean, there's kind of competition that are just for pianists that want to do just competition or just playing virtuoso stuff and showy, or maybe even like in the rules they ask you to play some pieces that are just kind of standard for competition. So that's why I choose the Honens, because it's completely the opposite. They allowed you to show you, to introduce yourself, like also on the programming you are playing. They make you playing also chamber music, that I think is really important, and because I mean a pianist also deal with chamber music in all your life, mostly, because you can get to know people and play with other people is so important. And so also this kind of process I really like, and also the other stuff is that the program, you can just focus on yourself, and you don't have like to play every 2 days a recital of an hour. That, I mean, is not really common in a pianist career. So that was really important. I mean, you have the quarterfinals in the springtime, and then you wait for the results, of course, but then you can start focusing in 3 months on just recitals, concerti, and chamber music. That's really important. And I think it's more common in a pianist career, because almost you play like a recital for a season. So it's not common that you change repertoire like every day. I don't know, 1 hour recital different, and yeah, just unbelievable.
So this could actually be a little bit more like what life would be like.
Yeah,
as a professional.
Yeah, that's
musician.
it, and
you play a
that's why.
and then you do a recital.
Yeah,
a few
that's
weeks later.
That's why I love to be here, because, I mean, it seems like sort of festival, and I really enjoy playing on stage. I didn't feel like pressure of competition or stuff like that. And that's, of course, the career development after. That's really, of course, was my top list, choosing the Honens.
Just the idea that you would have that development afterwards.
Yeah, that's it.
Right. How's the experience been being here in Calgary for the week?
So far, I mean, I practice a lot, but I really enjoy the cities and the people. The audience was very lovely and very warm.
How about where you're staying? Because I know one of the special things Honens does is to put pianists up with a host family.
Yeah.
What's yours like?
Oh, I really love them. They're so kind to me, and so far it was a great experience with them. I have wonderful piano. I have my basement just for me, and very fun. I can watch U.S. Open when I want to have a break. So I have open. I'm allowed to go to the fridge and take everything. So it was the best experience so far.
Nice. Have you had a chance, when you weren't practicing or rehearsing, to actually get out and see any of the city?
I do a little walk through the river and everything, but not that much. I mean, of course, you don't know before, but when I knew I was in the final, I was okay. No terms this time,
Right.
But it was a good reason.
Exactly. How did you know, or what made you decide? Was there an experience that made you decide that you were going to become a serious pianist?
I mean, I don't know. Really, this is a tough question, because I mean, I started playing when I was 4 and a half, and of course you don't know what you can do when you start, and then you realize like that can be your profession. Your passion can be also your profession. I mean, and it's really not a simple life to be a pianist, but of course you can be exposed to all this media and can be helpful for your career. I mean, when I finished high school, I was really in trouble, start university or not, and so. But
And what did you decide?
I mean, I trust people that were saying me you can be a good pianist, and so somehow I just started change life. But I mean, I think that practice piano is not only part of be a musician. I mean, you can practice. Of course, you have to practice a lot, but also you have to be connected with all the other stuff and like art, theater, reading, or even science, of course, especially with the contemporary or all this 20th century music. I mean, there is a lot of connection to be a musician, and it's not just play perfect music, but it's just, I mean, be an artist. You should like enjoy everything in the life, and it's not just like focus on be perfect on the piano.
Right. Well, that actually leads me nicely into what Honens is looking for, and they call it the complete pianist.
Oh, yeah.
And so I was thinking that a lot of the artistry and being a complete pianist happens way before you hit the stage.
Yeah.
In terms of choosing your repertoire.
Of course.
And I'd be interested in hearing your thoughts on how you put together your solo recital program.
Okay.
What was in your mind for that?
Oh yeah. So in my mind, I mean, it was very tough because you can't like change after you submit the application. So I mean, you have to think really carefully about that. So that's, but the thing I liked most was like you are allowed to play. Yeah, I mean, they encourage you to play contemporary music that I really love, and there is no like you have to play by ear or these compulsory rules that I don't like it, because I don't think like in contemporary you should do that, because sometimes just like you show you can play the notes but you can't really focus on the music because you are so scared of messed up, because there is no like really connection or some safe place you can just be okay, harmony, that's it. Okay, so that's I really thought about that, so I chose to play Legati because I really love his music, and I think it's just was a genius.
You did an interesting thing with your legatee, though.
Yeah.
Because you broke up, you did the legatee,
Yeah.
and you did Debussy, Lille Joyeuse,
Yeah.
and then more legatee. What was
Yeah.
your idea there?
Yeah, my idea was like, I mean, my program was almost about love and war. I don't know, somehow, because like Schumann Fancy, of course, is such a love piece, and he struggled against like because he was missing his wife or his fiancée at the time, and so it's all about his like struggling and war against the war somehow, because, and so I feel really close to this piece, and I really feel comfortable to start with it, even if it's such a, I mean, it's a huge piece, but I love start with huge pieces because I think you can show like in half an hour instead of like maybe 3-4 minutes or some short piece, or your idea about music and all the development you can carry. And then I decided like to put the Debussy in the middle, because I guess like, of course Ligeti, he has such a tough life, and of course he had to escape from Hungarian and everything, and so I think his music is all about sort of weird stuff or just creep somehow. I don't know, it's sort of all this machine going or just all this kind of dissonance, but it's not really like, I don't know, I love it because it's just weird. I don't know, I find all this connection with mathematics and all this modern science that really fascinates me. And so I decided I like to put Debussy in the middle, because Debussy is completely the opposite. So it's just a lovely piece, because it was like in this island with this mistress or whatever. It wasn't so. I thought it can work somehow in the recital, because like play 2 legacies in a row should be like sort of like you play some studies that are required. But I thought it can work somehow. And also, yeah, I found connection between the Schumann and the first Ligeti because it's on the white keys. So Schumann is in C major, and of course it's the white keys tonality. And then maybe Debussy carry a bit more on flat and sharp, and the second Ligeti is almost about flat. So it was sort of connection somehow. And then, of course, Prokofiev at the end. It's war piece. So.
And a chance to really show off your power
Yeah,
as,
that's
as
it.
a performer too.
Yeah, of course. You can have sort of this kind of piece, but you can also play not in a showy manner, of course. There is so much lyric and melody and wonderful singing in Prokofiev, of course.
What's your favorite situation for making music? I mean, there's chamber music, there's solo recital, there's concerto with orchestra, there's festivals. What do you like best?
Oh, I mean, maybe festival, or when you can just have all this kind of experience. Because I really love every kind of. It's so different about. So recital, you are alone. You focus on yourself. You have to give your best. But what I love also about chamber is that there is some unexpected things that can go on the stage, and you just have to feel and follow all these kind of things that are happening. I mean, of course you rehearse, but rehearsals are just different somehow because when you're on stage and you perform. Yeah, so I really like this kind of sharing with people. And of course, with orchestra is kind of different, but so I also try to have this kind of feeling with orchestra, so it's dialogue and try to.
Well, you looked very happy on stage during your chamber round.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed it, and I was sitting in a place in the hall where I could see your face and also the faces of your colleagues.
Oh yeah.
And it looked like you knew each other for a long time already.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel since the rehearsal, sort of really easy connection with them. They were so good, of course, and so I really enjoy playing on the stage. I didn't thought about competition or be judged or whatever. I just want to enjoy the music because music is also joyful sometimes.
That was one of the notes that I made. I made notes.
Oh, yeah.
There was just so much joy in the
Yeah,
performance. Is what
of course.
I heard from you
I mean, there was so much difference in repertoire, like Spanish songs, and so you have to be more Latino or so. Then you have Mozart, of course, it's theater, and opera, whatever. So you can have a lot of fun. Lutoslavsky, of course, was so fun piece, and Hindemith was such a, instead of kind of different, but still I was so enjoying all the performance.
Beyond the idea of live performance, there's the whole area of recording, and if you go on, to a career, that's a very big part of the life of a pianist.
Sure.
How do you feel about recording?
I don't know. I feel it should be completely different from a performance on stage.
In what way?
Yeah, I think that can be like your idea, and you fix your idea that can last. So it should be like more about your idea of the piece, and it's not influenced so much from your feeling in the moment or what you're feeling on the stage. Or you're, of course, nervous. You're nervous. You're stressed, or you don't want to make mistakes. Instead of recording, you just have small takes and you can repeat. So you have like to really find your top. But sometimes it's less emotion because I mean it's like a stone. So it can be like more about your thoughts of music instead of more about. Of course, it's different also the way you're listening to a recording. I don't know, that's what I think, and I don't know nowadays, still recording can be. I don't know. It's strange because the merchandising of that is so going down. So
right, they're not as
yeah. So it's more like YouTube Live or Spotify or whatever. So I don't know. Maybe it's just more about yourself. You can just fix your idea at the moment, and I mean, of course, some people can be interested in that. But that's my idea about recording.
When you look around a classical music concert hall, you see lots of gray hair, and
Yeah,
bald heads.
yeah.
But a lot of the people like you on stage are very young and totally animated by the music. Why do you think that is, that the people on stage are young, but the people in the audience enjoying the same music are so much older?
Yeah, it's kind of tough situation, especially in Italy now. Nowadays, it's really like going empty and empty and empty, and
Really?
people are getting older and older and older. Yeah, I know. Sometimes I believe it depends on your education mostly. I mean, I was lucky because I was introduced to the music, so I can have the chance to love it and to enjoy it. But sometimes people think that classical concerts are just like for old people because maybe they just don't know what it's about. So maybe what we can do is just like try to renew somehow the way of the recital, because this way is sort of from the 19th century. We just keep that, and of course people at the time they were so involved in that because like piano was part of every girl's education or sort of, so everyone knew about music and was part of the life. Now we had so much like specified works in our times, and so it's not more about all this kind of art connecting together and like, of course. So I think we can just try to keep the music fresh somehow, and of course because the taste is gonna change, I think, and we are not playing like in the past or in the 20th century old pianists. Of course they're lovely, but the taste is gonna change. So I don't understand people that are just complaining about, oh, Rachmaninoff was so good and nowadays we can just say anything more, or I don't know. There are some kind of thoughts like that, but I think we can just keep our message into the music today.
So you think playing music of today might
Yeah.
help connect with younger audiences?
Yeah, of course. I mean, when I had the chance like to play for a young audience, they were happy at the end, and they really enjoyed the music. So, I mean, I think it's just a chance question sometimes, and maybe it's just easy to listen to some entertaining music that doesn't request you so much attention, or. But I don't know, music can be so powerful in feelings and affect you so strongly. So.
Yes. When you go to concerts, what kinds of concerts do you go to?
Oh, mostly classical.
Can you tell me about one that was really special recently that you've been to?
It's so long I haven't gone to concert. I mean, in Italy, yeah, mostly I go for recital or opera. Of course, I love opera. I think it's very fun, but sometimes it's long. But I mean, it's very fun. I really enjoy it because, of course, when you listen to a pianist, you just start thinking, oh, I should. Like complaining or critics or whatever.
It's too much like what
yeah, it's like colleagues. You judge the work from other colleagues.
Right. It's like work.
Yeah, that's it.
So, but you love going to opera?
Yeah, opera and orchestra.
Okay.
Of course. Yeah, so far, yeah.
How do you like to spend your time when you're not either practicing or rehearsing or performing music?
Oh, yeah, I love like lots of reading, watching movie, or like sports. I really
Do you have
love.
a favorite author or a favorite movie?
Oh, my favorite author maybe Foster Wallace.
What was that, sir?
Foster Wallace.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sort of like I don't know, really contemporary fiction.
Right.
I read mostly because I think it's more close to nowadays. Of course, I love classical, but I feel more comfortable with those.
So sort of contemporary literary
Yeah,
fiction.
yeah, that's.
Right. And what about movies? Any
Oh,
special
movie.
directors?
Oh no, almost. I watch very bad movies, like comedy. I want just to relax.
I'm glad to hear.
yeah. And then I love study physics, so, but I mean, this kind of weird hobby, but I really enjoy.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And do you feel any connections between that and music, or is
Yeah,
that
of
really
course,
just another
of
brain?
course.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this summer I had masterclass with Leon Fleischer, and he was, I mean, mostly people think it's a connection between mathematics and music, and he was like, no, in my opinion, it's more about physics and music and all the gravity. you just go against gravity in the music and just feel the upbeat and everything and all of those. So I was like, oh my god, that's what I like about that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
If you think about yourself, you're 22 now, so if you
Yeah.
think about yourself a few years down the line and you're having a successful career as a pianist,
Yeah.
what does that look like for you?
I mean, of course, playing, but I also think like teaching should be like really important. Like, because if you can succeed in your career, of course you have some good thoughts to share, probably, or your idea, or just, I mean, you received an education and you were lucky because your teacher were good. So I think it's just kind of your purpose should be like also be a teacher. Now, some days, of course, also performing and have a big web with all kind of people that you want to play with, chamber music, of course. I think also teaching should be.
And do you teach now?
Oh, not so far.
No.
I mean, no, I start a bit, but not really official.
But do you like the idea of
Yeah, yeah.
giving back and passing on your
Yeah, yeah.
knowledge?
Yeah, I love doing that. Because I mean, I don't like the idea that the pianist should be like on the stage like a god star and people are just adoring him. It's just normal, it's a work. So, I mean, of course it's kind of different work from people doing the office, of course, but I mean, you have to practice every day, you have your routine. And so it's, I mean, the performance is just part of a backstage work. And so, like, sharing with people, of course, is part of your life. And if you don't like your work or you don't want to share with someone else, it's meaningless. Why you should do that?
So you have rehearsal
Yeah.
this afternoon. You're going to be playing Prokofiev.
Sure. Yeah.
And which was it?
The Mozart.
Mozart,
Yeah.
Jeune Homme
Yeah.
Concerto. How did you choose that particular Mozart?
Oh, I really love this particular Mozart because I think it was kind of my age when he composed that, so it's really fresh. But it's so deep especially the second movement. I think it's so unbelievable good. And so that's why because I think it's very showing all these different kind of the opera, of course, because Mozart mostly is all about opera. So we have like the first movement is really all this kind of maybe Nozze di Figaro that it's gonna write so later, but I mean you can just find all this in when he was 21 and was composed this concert for a wonderful virtuoso of his time. So it really changed from what it was before. I mean, if you listen to the first 8 concerts are just so more different from the Jeune Homme. And then it started again from the 20 maybe or around. So it was not really audience pleasing, but it was really deep and thoughtful. And the second movement, of course, serious aria and so dramatic. And the third one is, of course, fun and virtuoso, but there is this minuet in the middle, so this gallant stuff and dance. And so it's really complete, I guess. So that's why I choose that.
So you'll have an opera going on in your mind.
Yeah,
You're on
yeah,
stage with the
yeah. You
gallant
can really
gallant.
feel all the character and feel sort of plot in your mind because I think it's all about that. Mozart is so vocal, every line, every melody. Of course, yeah. So that can help you when you play on stage. Just not think this is music for piano, but you can just sing or put some words or I don't know, Philosis Cherubino, Susannetta or whatever.
Nice. Nice. Well, I'm going to be thinking about that
Oh yeah.
when I hear you on stage.
Okay.
Yes, I can't wait to hear the rest of your Honens.
Oh, I'm really
Finals.
looking forward. It's so excited.
Well, best of luck. Thank you.
Thank you so much.